So Patrick Odiafati says, I'm so happy for Benz getting called back up to France for the Euros. How do you think Mbappe and Benz will link up? I read that many people think Benzema needs time to integrate into the team and etc. But I feel the opposite. Benzema is one of the most intelligent footballers in the world, and he and Mbappe will have no issues combining. Game recognizes game. Agent Benz on a mission to lure Mbappe to the Bernabeu. What do you think?
First of all, I have to say that I'm genuinely happy for Benzema as well. I'm a big fan of him as a player and even as a person, and I feel like he deserved this chance for many, many years, many seasons, and I'm so happy to see him getting called to represent his country again. That's the first thing. But about his need of time to integrate and to adapt to the team, I feel like these international tournaments are not usually a matter of adapting or whoever even plays better and with more fluidity and all that. It's just a matter of whoever gets the job done efficiently, and it's not like they're going to play 20 matches and Benzema needs to adapt. It's just they have a limited window to play, and obviously Benzema is a very smart player and a very versatile player. He can play different roles. Even if he stays in the center forward position, he can play the facilitator role as he did with Cristiano Ronaldo. He can do that with Mbappe. I feel like that's what he will end up doing for France, facilitating mostly Griezmann and Mbappe. And then definitely he can also score, and we've seen that in this version of Benzema for the last couple of seasons. So he's just he's so versatile that I don't feel like he'll need a lot of time to adapt to France system. And even if he did, to be honest, he wouldn't have that time because you have to deliver pretty soon in this tournament. So luckily enough for him, he's the kind of player who adapts pretty quickly to every situation and everything that every club can ask him to do.
Yeah, it's interesting that the news coming now that Benzema's returning to France, it's the excitement of it now in 2021 exceeds the excitement of if it was back in 2018 for the World Cup. And a lot of that has to do with how well Benzema's played in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you fast forward 3 years. I did not think that there would be this kind of excitement if you had told me in 2018 that if he was recalled in 2021, I would have been surprised at the excitement about his comeback without context. But knowing how good he's been, he is their best number 9 immediately.
Oh yeah.
And Benzema's the kind of cerebral player, tongue twisted, that I think can integrate quickly and mesh with people pretty quickly. First of all, he has obviously played for France before. It's not like, this is his first national team appearance. This is, he's played in World Cups. He's played in Euros before. He's also, if you look back to the players he's partnered with in attack and on the wings with Real Madrid, almost instantaneously he's had a good connection with them. Ronaldo is his own different book and subject, and we already know how well he complemented Ronaldo and vice versa. But we also know that he formed a pretty quick synergy with Vinicius on the left. Hazard, who has barely played, they also have a good synergy. And we have that, that famous PSG game from last year where it really peaked before the Meunier tackle. You also have just his ability to drop deep and play in midfield. He does so much for the team off the ball. Defensively, he makes people's jobs easier. He sets people up. He can finish chances. It makes him easy to be able to integrate for that reason alone. It is interesting, I think, France's attack. I mean, if you put Benzema on that starting 11, you basically take away Giroud. No brainer.
Yeah.
Deschamps is not taking him to the Euros to bench him. And Benzema, that is. And so when you have Mbappe and Griezmann and Benzema, in a way you have 3 similar players in that neither of them are traditional strikers. They're very mobile. They can, all 3 of those players can play a false 9 role. All 3 of those players can spearhead an attack. All 3 of those players can theoretically play on the wings. I'm just curious to see how it'll work. I trust that it would work, and I think it will work. And obviously on paper, it's just incredible to to see those three names on the team sheet. I don't have much concern about it gelling. I will say, like, the concerns about that Patrick mentions, that some people think that Benzema needs time to integrate into the team. In most tournaments, international tournaments, I would say at least the group stages are a place that you can kind of get accustomed to the feel of the tournament and the feel of the style of play in the team. Right. This one is unique because you don't have time to do that, because this group is literally group of death on steroids. It's like group of just torture. It's group of death, group of hell. It's an insane group, so you don't really have time to take it easy in any of those games. So that is one interesting thing to keep an eye on. But I'm super excited to see this again. I just can't barely remember. I feel like I was a kid the last time I saw Benzema play for France. So super excited about this.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like the friendly games, if there are any, but I think there are some scheduled, will be very important for every country to get a feeling of their own teams and all that, because pretty much every squad will be forced to introduce some changes here and there, and it's no difference for France. So I feel like the friendly games will be very important before the group stage, because you mentioned that the group stage for France is going to be definitely a pain. Yeah,
Spain will have that problem in a different way with Laporte, and see how he would mesh with Pau Torres, or if Ramos is back probably earlier than expected. So I assume Ramos is going to start, because everyone was talking about Laporte and Pau Torres together. That'll be a future pairing, but for this international tournament anyway, that'll take some time. But yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of these national teams historically, now and forever, will be a lot of off the fly stuff, like new wrinkles, and they're not playing as much as they are at club level together. So every national team will go through that to a certain degree. France also has 3 preparation games: Wales, and then Bulgaria, and then the juicy France versus Germany on June 15th. Can't wait. So let's see. Oh, the second part of this question. It's not really a part of the question. I think it's kind of just tongue-in-cheek, but Agent Ben's on a mission to lure Mbappe to the Bernabeu. Mbappe put out a tweet that got a lot of us excited. Just excited that he's gets to play with Benz. I don't think that's going to be a deal breaker either way, but it'll be nice to maybe see if he can plant some seeds somewhere. I don't know.
It won't be a deal a deal breaker, as you mentioned, but it won't hurt either to have Mbappe playing with Benzema, and potentially Benzema telling him a couple things, even if it's in and from even if they're both laughing and making jokes about it or whatever, it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt, because we know that Benzema is that kind of leader. He's become a great leader for Real Madrid, and I feel like he will take a similar leadership role with Mbappe, and that ultimately I think it won't hurt. It won't hurt Madrid's chances of landing Mbappe, whatever they are right now.